Shalom, family. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I know this is later than what I usually do for my live streams. So, we're going to talk about what happened in Minnesota. Jake Lang, who is a known racist, went out there and drove right into the middle of counter protest, and things just went crazy. And someone that was wearing a Spider-Man suit clocked him right in the face. Now, I did see it. I know I can't really show it like I want to because of YouTube and their policies, but I'm going to still show you some of what happened out on the streets in Minnesota. You know, everywhere this guy goes, it's always some violence attached to it, you know? And remember, this is one of the people Donald Trump pardoned from January 6th. Does this guy seem like he deserved a pardon? Come on. Absolutely ridiculous. But this is what happened. So, let's see here. All right, a quick reminder, the goat milk shampoo and leave-in conditioner is still available, and you still have time to get your order in. The sale is over at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight. All right, so let's get to the video for Jake Lang. Let's see here. Yep. All right, so this is the mayor of Minnesota doing a press conference, and you'll hear about what happened. And this happened at about 11 a.m. So Jake Lang went out there. They knew he was coming, and the counter protesters showed up. And it just went crazy from that point on. All right, y'all, here we go. Give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
At approximately 11:50 a.m., far-right extremist and known racist Jake Lang arrived near Minneapolis City Hall around the corner of 3rd Avenue and 4th Street. Both vehicles then drove onto the sidewalk in front of City Hall toward a crowd of people that were gathered there. Minneapolis police officers responded in an attempt to get the vehicles off the sidewalk, as well as to keep the peace. Officers tracked both vehicles after they left, and with the assistance of Minnesota State Patrol, we were first able to stop the vehicle at the intersection of 35W and Washington. And the second vehicle was stopped in Bloomington with the assistance of the Bloomington Police Department. All individuals that were in the two vehicles have been arrested by the Minneapolis Police Department, including the racist Jake Lang. All occupants were arrested and both vehicles were impounded.
Jake Lang has been arrested in Minneapolis after police are saying vehicles him and others were using were driving towards counter protesters.
If you're going to come in here, you're going to drive on the sidewalk, you're going to incite a riot, and you're going to be a problem for people's safety, then you're going to get arrested.
I'm Frankie, a reporter in the Twin Cities. We just left a press conference and police are saying that Lang arrived with people in two other vehicles. Essentially, when those vehicles were on the sidewalk is when MPD moved in to try and get them out of the area. Police are saying once the vehicles left the area, they were able to work with other agencies, specifically State Patrol and Bloomington Police, to administer the arrests. They stopped one of the vehicles near I-35 and Washington, and then the other one was stopped near the Mall of America.
During the interaction, 3 MPD officers were injured, all suffered non-life-threatening injuries. We have no information that any of the chemical irritant that was deployed was by a member of the Minneapolis Police Department.
All the occupants were arrested on probable cause riot. They also made other arrests outside of City Hall during that gathering today. Both of the vehicles have been impounded too. Minneapolis police told me that these were their arrests and everybody was booked right there into the Hennepin County Jail. This all happened around the same time the Vikings had their first preseason home game today, so downtown was definitely a busy one. We're going to do our best to keep you posted as we learn more on air, online, and right smack dab here on your mobile device.
Anytime there is crowds of people gathered, the last thing we want to see is vehicles driving towards them.
Both sides are able to express their First Amendment rights, even when I find what they're saying to be abhorrent, and that's certainly the case with Jake Lang.
The Minneapolis Police Department has arrested far-right activist Jake Lang. Lang and some of his supporters were holding an event outside Minneapolis City Hall when they approached the sidewalk towards where protesters had gathered, according to the MPD. These visuals by Sky 11 show just how tense the scene was as it unfolded. According to the MPD, officers tracked both vehicles as they left City Hall and arrested everybody in both of those vehicles. Everyone who was arrested, including Jake Lang, has been charged with probable cause riot. Both vehicles have been impounded. Stay with Car 11 for the latest.
I'm so angry, and I don't even pay taxes in Minneapolis. You have a right to free speech. You do not have a right to a free police escort. How much of your taxpayer dollars, Minneapolis, went towards protecting that man while he spread that hate, while he drove on the sidewalk? Your police department went out of their way to put, how many cops were there? 20, 30? Were they on overtime? All surrounding this man's truck just so that he could drive on the sidewalk and spread the most vile racist shit. And the Minneapolis Police Department allowed him to do it. Those police were under no requirement to protect him. Zero. None. You know that because they didn't protect him when he had his ass beat as he was being pummeled through the city. Jake Lang is suing the Minneapolis Police Department because he wasn't being protected that day by the police. Why would they turn around and do it now? They just gave him more ammunition for his lawsuit to say, look, they did it this time. They were certainly capable of doing it that time. Instead of saying, we have an entire city and have time to babysit grown men who come to our town to spread hate. Sorry, who's in charge of the Minneapolis Police Department? He needs to be fucking fired. And every taxpayer in that city needs to lose their shit. Your next city council meeting better be full. This is absolutely unconscionable. Literally allowing this man to drive on the sidewalk. Allowing him. Well, did you see that sign? There's a difference between free speech and intentionally inciting a riot. And that's what Jake Lang did. He intentionally was inciting a riot, and the police department helped him do it. The police department then turned around and arrested Jake Lang today on probable cause for starting a riot. Yet, the police department helped him do it. So make it make sense, Minneapolis.
So yesterday, on Saturday, Jake Lang and a group of people tried organizing a hate rally in Minneapolis. Before he and his people even showed up in their cars, there was already a ton of counter-protesters there. As it then turned out, Jake Lang was too chicken shit to even get out of the car. As usual, he tried playing a tough guy, then he hid behind the police. Then when Jake Lang finally decided to get out of the vehicle, he got into the back of a pickup truck. He immediately clashed with counter-protesters, and this is the best part of the entire thing. He was then swiftly punched in the face by Spider-Man. This right here, this is the best image you're going to see on the internet today. A neo-Nazi being punched in the face by Spider-Man. Then after Jake Lang chickened out and drove away, he was then arrested along with several other people for inciting a riot. My favorite part is how Jake Lang continues to try showing up acting like he's some kind of a tough guy and always runs away with his tail between his legs. Every single day in this country now, we wake up to some crazy shit that conservatives and right-wingers are doing in order to try to get attention, and they think it's going to get them popularity, I guess. You may also have run across this from Colorado. Seriously, Tim Walz was right. These people are just fucking weird.
Here's everything we know about the Jake Lang arrest in Minnesota. Jake Lang and 6 people who came with him were all arrested on probable cause for riot. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says there could be additional charges coming, but they need to gather additional information before they go down that route. We also saw from Sky 11 video of the vehicle that Lang was in driving through downtown Minneapolis. You can see it's going onto sidewalks, and at one point it drives through a crosswalk with pedestrians in it. There were also 4 other arrests near City Hall. 2 were for disorderly conduct, 1 was for probable cause riot, and the last one was for assault. The interim Minneapolis police chief says 3 officers were also injured. 1 was hit in the head with a hard object, another one had their foot or ankle rolled over by one of the 2 vehicles, and then the third tweaked something in their hip. There's been a lot of questions around why Minneapolis police didn't just stop the vehicles right then and there. Interim police chief Bill Peterson says it wasn't safe to do so, so the best decision was the one that was made to let the vehicles leave, de-escalate the situation, and then officers relayed the vehicle information to law enforcement. And then with the help from the State Patrol and Bloomington Police, they were able to stop those vehicles. I'm Jessica Hart. Follow along for more news.
The Jake Lang shit show rally in Minneapolis did not disappoint, with Jake Lang showing up in a truck and then instantly pepper spraying the protesters, which caused the cops to surround the truck. He drove it up on the sidewalk. There was chaos. There was insanity as Antifa in Minneapolis tried to attack him and the cops tried to prevent it. And it was insane. We covered the whole thing live on my channel. If you missed it, you missed out. Now, the protesters were extremely pissed off that the Minneapolis police seemed to be protecting Jake Lang from, quite frankly, probably getting killed by them. But, you know, not to be outdone, the Minneapolis police, shortly after the rally, went and arrested Jake for that little stunt. At approximately 11:50 a.m., far-right extremist Jake Lang arrived near Minneapolis City Hall with other people in 2 vehicles. Both vehicles drove onto the sidewalk in front of City Hall towards a crowd of people gathered there. Not exactly what happened, but, you know, the video can speak for itself. MPD officers moved to get into the vehicles off the sidewalk and out of the area. Officers track the vehicles, yada, yada, yada. All occupants, including Jake Lang, were arrested on probable cause riot. And Antifa is not getting arrested for causing a riot and trying to kill him at all. But Jake Lang gets arrested for causing the riot. Both vehicles were impounded. Now, listen, generally, I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Lang's tactics. I find them to be inflammatory. I don't agree personally with a lot of the extreme positions that he takes, even though I can be very extreme in my own right. But I think Jake Lang is one of those things that you have to use for what he is. He's entertainment value. He's entertainment for all of us. Wherever Jake Lang goes, inevitably, there will be chaos. And I don't mind spending some time streaming that on my YouTube and Rumble channel so we can watch it live and enjoy it. Sometimes you just have to let things be what they are. I'm Carlin Borisenko. I'm an analyst and independent journalist covering the far left in America. Follow along for more.
Okay, so Jake got his ass handed to him, y'all. You know, I wish I could show you the footage. You can find the footage of him getting clocked in the face by Spider-Man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. That shit was funny. He got clocked in the face by somebody dressed as Spider-Man. And yeah, it got pretty crazy. You know, they roughed him up in the back of that pickup truck that he was in. But this is what happens when you go, and I don't see how they keep letting him get away because he's the one inciting violence. But I guess as long as you're pale, it's okay to go out here and incite violence. So, but the people are clearly ready to counter protest his butt for real. Yeah, I saw that dude that took out Sonia Massey. He passed on. Good. That's good news as far as I'm concerned. Kerman TM1FP, thank you for the 10 joules hiding. And Newark Brick City 1970, thank you for the super chat. That pig that killed Sonia Massey has died in prison. Yay. Yeah. Yeah. Good riddance. Good riddance. Don't feel anything for him at all. You know, Officer Tatum tried to justify him unaliving Sonia Massey. Said she was getting ready to throw hot water. She didn't throw no hot water on his ass. And he did not have to kill her. Okay? He didn't have to do none of that stuff. But he even lied. I said, see, that's why I don't follow that dude. He's such a liar. He lies about everything and embellishes on things to make it sound far greater than what it really is. Mm-hmm. I can't watch him. He's one of those people I just can't watch for a long period of time. I can't relate at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, huh. So he's in jail, and like somebody said in the chat earlier, he ain't gonna be in there long. He never is, y'all. That's why he's able to go city to city causing all these problems because they pretty much allow it. Just like they allowed Chud the Builder. You know, if that um pew pew did not happen that day, he probably would still be out here doing the same crap he was doing before. They don't stop him. And they're not going to stop Jake Lang. They're not going to stop him either. Well, yeah, but he is on parole, Lisa Gibson, but you know how it is. They don't have to follow any laws or rules that are on the books. The only ones that are expected to follow laws are us. You know how it goes. Oh, yeah, he ain't going to be in there long. Mm-mm-mm. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And don't forget to pick up your hair products. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Shalom, family.